We're gonna be doing the transmission lines up here. So there's one bolt that holds this plate on, so these two are plated. And then inside there's some bushings that we gotta pull out. And those bushings are that part number, or that's the GM number. And then these are what they look like. So once we get them out, we'll take a look at them. It looks like they slide in and then they seal through the center. But we'll get a better look at it once we get them out. Not exactly certain how much oil is going to come out. So I got it loose with a 10mm deep well. Now I'm just spinning that off of there. So it was kind of challenging, and it was super tight. So it's coming off. I'm lucky, getting lucky, probably because it was all full of oil.
Welcome back to What's Next Garage. Today we're finishing up the 2010 Pontiac G6, and we're doing the transmission cooler line seals. These are the seals that attach to the transaxle itself. This thick piece here is actually a spacer. So these are the bushings that go in there, and they have a little bit of a top hat look to them, so that rim around there actually keeps it from pushing all the way into the transmission. So I'm taking my screwdriver and I'm actually trying to catch that lip and then push it up in to relieve some of the pressure. So you can see I'm just tapping up and I'm curling that in. And then as I go, you can actually see it rotate, and it'll rotate right there. So you see it rotating. So now I know that I have it loose. I still can't get it out of there. So I'm using side cutters. I'm trying everything to try and pull it out of there. Now I'm grabbing a channel lock, so you can see I'm getting kind of desperate. Now I'm just peeling back the bushing itself. I'm not doing any damage to the transmission.
Okay, here we go. So I took these out. These are the seals that go into the transmission. They're the tranny cooler line seals. They look like this brand new. There's no hole in it here yet because we haven't punctured through. All right, so this is a steel body, and then they have rubber. It's like got a rubber lip seal here to seal the face against the transmission housing. The problem is if you want to take them out, if your tranny cooler lines are leaking, don't do it if you're faint of heart. It was a very harrowing. No, it wasn't harrowing. It was very scary. So these are the two. This was the lower one, so I was able to catch an edge and then kind of push it up to loosen it up to give it some relief. And then this is the upper one. I did the same thing. I don't know any other way that you could do it. Maybe you could get in there, but I used this cotter pin tool, and I was able to get into both of them and then lever them out. This bottom one came out easier because I created this divot. I was able to hook that and then pull it out. The upper one I didn't do as much, I didn't pop as much, but I was able to create a little divot again and pull it out once I got it past the lip of there. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to clean everything up, and then I'm gonna take a nice thin, like just a coating of silicone. I'll just wipe it on like that, and then I'm gonna push them in, and we should be good to go. So driving them in, I have to see, right? I don't want to damage anything. So I imagine it's not just going to push in, and we have to be careful with this rubber lip here because that rubber lip, so we have to get right on this edge and push that in. If you're thinking of doing your transmission cooler lines, let's get up there and I'll show you what. They're up there. So we have one, and then the other one you can see it is up further. They're scary. I was scared. I didn't know if I was gonna have to take the side, I'd take this casing off, but I was able to get it out of there. And there's a nice chamfer on there, so these should go in pretty easy. But they're up there. If you're faint of heart, don't do it. Okay, the upper seal went in super easy. I used this pliers, and I think this is an 18mm. Yeah, 18 millimeter 12 point socket. I had to stick my arm up there and hold it over here, and I was able to drive it in like this. The lower one is a little bit more difficult because the mount is in the way. Let me take you off. So I had to stick my arm up here, bring this down, and put it on right there. And that's how I held it. And there's enough room to swing a hammer in there, and it drives in. The upper one is actually easier than the lower one. The lower one is here, and then you don't have a lot of room to swing. So we got them, and now I'm just gonna put the tranny lines in. Don't forget this foamy piece. This foamy piece goes on the upper transmission line. It's just a kind of a gap filler. So now I'm gonna put some oil. Okay, after I installed the lines, we're good. We put silicone on there just to give us an extra level of confidence. Did they do the same thing that Ford did with this transmission? Sure they did. You add fluid down there, and the stupid thing is there. So we leaked probably a de minimis amount, a very small amount. I think I'm gonna have to pull that plug out that's there. I can't believe that these manufacturers do that to us. This is not where you check the level. This is a technician pressure port. The level is checked really nice and easy right here. So this is the plug you check the level with. This is right on the tail of the output shaft. It's just right up here. So oil drain plug, and there's the plug. So we're gonna start the car up, we're gonna get that loose, and we're gonna see what comes out. Now, let's see what we got here. Oh, good, good. Okay, so that's good to see. So the fact that it's coming out, we're at the level. And it looks pretty rad. So I think we're ready to bring this thing down and say farewell.
Thanks for watching. Have a great day.